Hey Strat fans, what's going on? It's me, Colonel Strat, the Strategy Extraordinaire here, and do you like synergy? We all like a good synergy, especially with our Total War games. And I've found, with my recent exploration of the new Cathay faction in Shadows of Change, that there's a lot of synergies going on, especially with the new units. So today I'm going to show you just how insane these synergies can go, plus with the new Lord Yuan Bo, him with his execution ability, coupled with his buffing spells, defensive buffing spells, and if you add a alchemist into it as well, you're just going to be able to get so insane of buffs that you're going to be able to trump any unit that's above you, in the same class, of course. So let's get right into this tactic showcase, and this is going to be the best way to use the new Lord. With synergizing all these different units, plus the new war drum is a is a perfect way to synergize. So what you're going to need is Yuan Bo, a alchemist, a war drum, and then of course you'll need a yin and yang unit as well. But that should be pretty easy because his campaign starts with all those units except the war drum. But once you get it, you know it's going to be a really nice constant buff because it's a constant buffing unit. So let's get right into this tactic, shall we? First off, I'm going to show how insane Yuan Bo can be and how good he is as a duelist. So he's going up against Tyrion right here, probably the best duelist in the game with the High Elves. But Yuan Bo can defeat him, and I'll show you how. He's got better spells to buff himself and keep himself out of the fight, or in the fight, but he's going to be able to do more melee attack, and his Emperor's Executioner ability is just insane with how he could just execute and do a whole bunch of damage to someone. He doesn't even have to execute them and kill them, but he could just do an insane amount of damage to them. So let's give him his damage reduction. And then pop his special sword. He's already doing better than Tyrion. Yeah, he's already doing way better than Tyrion. And all of his other spells is not going to do a lot of damage, but he could do Talons of Night. Tyrion's doing a decent amount of damage. But he keeps doing this with Jade Shield. And an insane buff that he could do to himself gives him an insane amount of damage reduction. Come on. His AI is prone to, glitching out sometimes, I've noticed. But he's still a pretty good character, even with the glitches. Yeah, and they're both 6'6". They're both evenly matched. Tyrion has an insane amount of armor. Yuan Bo has to punch through, but Yuan Bo has that punch. I mean, he's already got him pretty low, but then watch this ability, Emperor's Executioner, and oh Jesus! Tyrion used his rebirth though, so could have instantly killed him there, but he used his rebirth. I think it's Star of Avalon or something. Yeah, whatever that thing is that rebirths him. We'll still be able to kill him though, because he already used his thing. Yeah, Heart of Avalon. It's an insane heal that he gets a burst to life. I could transform into a dragon, but it's probably not going to serve me anything better though. He's got to do his animation before he can actually attack. But it does buff up his damage a lot. The dragon form itself is just very powerful. He can't heal though, and it's usually used for groups. But it is doing its work against Tyrion. And let's see if we can't hit him with this Common of Cassandora. Or not, because of course he has to move out of the way. Alright. You only have one use of this in skirmish battles, but in campaign you get multiple uses, so it does get really insane. And then like that. Ugh. Let's hopefully we can get him. There we go. And there we go. He beats Tyrion. You gotta be careful. You gotta wait to use your executioner move, because he's got that Star of Avalon, which gives him a burst of heals, which you know, he can beat Yuan Bo in a drawn out fight if you don't know how to use him. But if you know how to use him, you're gonna be able to deal with him just easily, so easily. So, you know, because you only get one use of this in this one, you get, you know, he has the ability to do away with it. But because in the campaign you have multiple uses, you could be able to, you know, kill him in a lot easier. And like, if you have this symbol, that means they're going to be killed really easily. Alright, he just needs one more, and then Tyrion's gone. Alrighty, now to get right into it, so we've got a couple low tier infantry. So to make this do really well, Jade Warriors are probably the best choice, because you can get them, you know, pretty easy on, especially for Yuan Bo. He starts with a lot of them, so that's why I include Jade Warriors instead of, you know, Peasant Spearmen. That just goes better with them, but it could work with any unit. Then of course we have a unit of Peasant Bowmen. This is the Special Regiment of Renown unit that has fire attacks as well as woodsmen. So they're already good. And then we have our alchemist here with all of her special elixirs and all that. And then we have the Shangu War Drum, which is really good. It's got this buff right here for armor. That's one I use pretty good, pretty frequently. But it also has a melee attack. So if you have one or the other, I think they do synergize. But I don't think you can do two of the same buff. I haven't really tested that, but I will test it, and if it shows up I can, then I'll add on to it. So and then of course we have Yuan Bo with his executioner ability, and he's also got this ability here. The Jade Shield is really good as well, compared with all these other, compared with the armor buff here, and with the Lore of Metal. You could just make an insanely buffed unit. So this is the best way to do it for Cathay. Now, a good way to fight as Cathay is to lock your group. If you lock your group, they'll all move as one, like so. They'll all move as one. They'll move at the slowest speed, which is probably the war drum. And look, see, these are toggles, so this will always be active as long as it's within range. So that already buffs up the armor on these to 104, and then to these to 39. So that is an insane buff to have constantly as an effect. Already that could be used as a game changer, but you have to make sure you defend the war drum, and it takes up a unit slot. So it has its drawbacks, but then you add on the Jade Shield, and also Yuan Bo has spell intensity, so he's able to do even more percentage reduction compared to the other forces. So that's already insane. And also I think this intensity applies to her, and she has the alchemix elixirs, the iron skin, and the melee attack one is already good. I usually do iron skin because it's 90, and then of course plague of rust and glittering robe. It is pretty much a godsend at this point. Alright, and then we'll do the elixir. Slow down, do the elixir, do the plague of rust, do the Jade Shield, and then, yeah. We'll apply this as well. And now that we have that active, we'll do the glittering robe, which increases their armor even more. Like, look at them, their armor is already insane, and then it goes up even more to 272. So we're just doing so much. Let's have Yuan Bo attack. Let's have him attack their lord. Oh god, he got stun locked or something. I don't know what happened. There we go. Yeah, we're able to just outdo them so much. Okay. Okay. And then the peasant archers are just doing away with these guys. It just becomes insane. And of course, always spam the Jade Shield and put on his thing for his ability, for his special sword. And then, of course, we're going to show you the if he can get to attack. Yeah, let's get him to attack. We have to get him to at least 1/4 of health, and he'll do the Lord's work. All right. All right. I think we can get it now. And we spam this ability here on a single entity. It does so much damage, it instantly kills him. And then they have the morale debuff, and already we've buffed up so much that we've done them out. Let's reduce their damage, and then we'll up our damage. And there we go. That unit's pretty much done for. Yep, pretty much done for. So this is a very insane strategy. Cathay already has a lot of synergies, but I just realized that they had so much more synergy with this with the new war drum, with Yuan Bo, with how he can just execute a lord that's terrorizing your troops. And we lost half troops, but this is a tier 2 unit, and that's a tier 3, and they're coming out of this engagement a lot less. Also, we did away with their archers, and we killed their lord. So already this is a huge success, a huge change, and it's bound to be nerfed eventually. The war drum probably not, but Yuan Bo definitely, with his execution ability, coupled with this damage resistance buff, he's just able to buff his units up insanely, and it's just ridiculous how crazy he can get. So that was the tactic. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it, and I enjoyed a lot playing the new Cathay faction. The Cathay is just becoming so insane that if you just work everything together, their synergy pays off insanely. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and remember to leave a like, comment, and I'm going to show more strategies for all the new lords coming through the next couple of weeks to show you how best to use them. And like this Cathay synergy is just insane. It decimates anything with you. But the Changeling is also pretty powerful by himself. I haven't tried out Mother Stenkia, but I will find one that's good for her. I think it's going to have something to do with her skirmishers. So remember to keep it strategic, Strat fans. Colonel out.